Hey guys, Johnny Slick here again. A couple of questions. Actually, I have two quick questions I received. One from a friend of mine who is actually just had a qualifying time for the Boston Marathon, so congratulations, Chad. And another one from a member here at the Y about exercise and age. So, first question is, how many days after you do a strength training workout do you start to lose muscle mass? So Chad was tapering his runs for a marathon that he had coming up the following week. He wanted to know when he should stop doing strength training. He didn't want to lose muscle mass, but he knew that he probably needed to stop strength training, especially his legs, leading up to that marathon so he could be fresh for it. So tapering with your runs, most of the time everybody knows how to do that if you're on a good running program. So you run less and less as it comes up time for your race so that you're not overtraining, and you'll feel really fresh for the actual race. Strength training is the exact same way. And just like tapering your runs, anyone who's ever tapered their runs knows that you don't actually get slower. In fact, by race day, you're normally feeling pretty fast because you've had some time to rest. You can honestly take off 1 to 2 weeks from strength training and really not lose that much muscle mass as long as you keep your calories up. You may lose a little bit of strength, but you'll be able to gain that back up in the weeks to come as long as you ramp back up. So if you take 2 weeks off, it may take you 2 or 3 weeks to ramp back up to the weights that you were lifting before you took some time off. If you try to lift in that week leading up to the race, it's definitely not going to make you stronger, and it could possibly make you weaker. You may be tired, you may be sore. You always run the risk of overstraining a muscle, so you may actually be injured the day of the race. So for anyone running, I always have them take almost the entire week off of strength training, with the exception of maybe doing some upper body stuff or some core work lighter in the beginning of the week if their race is at the end of the week, just so they can keep up with strength training. I know a lot of people, such as myself, enjoy strength training, so it's hard sometimes to take a week and just not do any of it if you enjoy doing it, but it is a good idea since it will help you out the day of the race. And don't go crazy the day before the race with upper body at all, because there's nothing worse than, well, running with sore legs is probably worse than running with sore arms. Running with sore arms really is not fun either. So, and after this question was posed to me, Chad set that qualifying time. So hopefully the advice I gave him via email helped him out. But yeah, for anyone coming up on a race, make sure that you gradually taper down that strength training that week before you actually race. And the other question was, how do recovery times change with age? I train athletes of all different ages, and we definitely do deal with recovery times being longer in between workouts. As you get older, your growth hormone production is going to slow down. So that means that your body's ability to recover from workouts is going to go down because your hormones have a lot to do with how you recover. Your VO2 max, or how much oxygen your body can utilize during exercise, that normally goes down with age as well. It goes down 10% per decade if you're not training. If you're training, it goes down about 5% per decade, but you can't completely, with most people, you cannot completely stop the degradation of your VO2 max as you age. This is why as you get older, you're going to notice your run times, your swim times, your bike times, if you do CrossFit, your WOD times will just naturally go down because that's just the way your body works. The other thing is your muscle mass goes down as you get older. A lot of that has to do with the hormone changes. So you're normally not able to lift as heavy of weights since your muscles, any sport you do, your muscles have to work. So if your muscles are not able to hold and transport enough oxygen, or exchange it very efficiently, that has to do with your VO2 max. That's also going to make your run times slow down just because your leg muscles aren't able to handle what they used to at that high rate of speed before. And then the last thing is your muscle elasticity goes down. So your muscle's ability to stretch makes you less flexible as you get older. The only way that you can really slow these down is to continue training. You can't really stop them. So if you keep moving, you keep exercising, and you adjust your program as you get older, you're able to slow down these processes and recover better. But your recovery is always going to be a little bit slower as you get older. So you just need to change your training based on how you feel. And this is actually a good habit to get into when you're younger, even though you may be able to hit the same muscle group day after day, or you may be able to go 7 days with no days of rest in between. That's fine when you're younger. It's not going to work for you when you get older. There are very few cases of some people who are able to, just based on honestly good genetics, so their body is not degrading at the same rate as other people's. But honestly, if you can get into it when you're younger about listening to your body and taking rest days when you need to and adjusting your program based on how you feel, it'll make it a lot easier when you get older to make those natural adjustments. And you probably will actually have less injuries as an older athlete if you take care of yourself better when you're younger. So this question is actually good for everybody to think about. More time off in between workouts would probably be my biggest suggestion, and sleep. So as older athletes, you do need some more time in between workouts, especially strength workouts, and you need to be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. You need to recover. Your body can only really recover when it's resting, and it's really only truly resting when you're sleeping. So outside of that, soft tissue work, so foam rolling, other mobilization techniques to make sure you have full range of motion throughout the movements that you do will help keep your muscles loose, so that even though you lose elasticity, you're able to preserve as much of it as you can. Staying hydrated. I know that a lot of my older athletes tend to drink less water than younger athletes, but your muscles are mostly made up of water, so you need to have as much water in them as possible so that they can be as elastic as they can be depending on your age. And then I like doing a lot of dynamic stretching work with my clients, my older clients. We do more mobility and dynamic stretching than actual working out most of the time, so that we can have those joints express themselves through full ranges of motion while they're working out. But we're also, we're still, if we're doing deadlifts with full range of motion or squats with full range of motion, we're still, building up the muscle while we're working into those flexibility ranges of motion. So no one is safe from aging as an athlete. It's just something that happens, and you just have to adjust your training program as you go. I have some older athletes doing some incredible things, actually lifting heavier weights now than they did when they were younger, but it's because we really focus on their recovery, we really focus on form, and we really focus on making sure that we know that the session is based on how they feel, not necessarily what I have even planned for that day. So be flexible when it comes to your plan, and stay flexible when it comes to your body as you get older too. So if you have any questions, you can just submit them below in the comments, or hit me up at Johnny Slick on Facebook, or at Johnny Slick 89 on Twitter, and Johnny is spelled without an H if you're trying to spell that on Twitter. So thanks again, guys. I'll talk to you later.